All right, we've got lots of news and notes. We have breaking news right now. Hold, please. Breaking news from the 97.1 The Ticket Update Desk. We have received a missive from the previously slandered Kenny Cott. Quote, "I have 100-degree fever, you bastards." Close quote. Don't be at that game tonight, Kenny. Mm-hmm. It's 72 and sunny. Mm-hmm. You happen to call in sick today. David, you have, let me turn that off. Sorry about that, David. You have a quote from Brian Gutekunst, or whatever it is.
Yes, I do.
Whatever his name is.
We've talked on air and off air about how this is going to be a tough division next year. Well, one of your in-division GMs is going after the Lions here. Quote, "Around here, we've never hung banners for division championships, so it's never been about that. It's a nice starting point, but I think we're always looking for bigger things." This is when he was asked about chasing the Lions.
Say it one more time.
Around here, we've never hung banners for division championships, so it's never been about that. It's a nice starting point, but I think we're always looking for bigger things.
I think, David, I said it yesterday. Rico has said it multiple times. It's not us being mean. You don't get to be all pumped up when I say what you agree with and then be all mad because I have a different take. My whole point is I said you were winning the division, winning the playoff game. No one's been more effusive in their praise of Holmes, Campbell, etc. Once Campbell, kind of got off his ass after 1-6. Here's my point. What I said yesterday holds true. If you think you own this division, you need to put the crack spoon down. The Packers are going to be a distinct problem. And I think you're about to enter a rivalry phase with this team that I don't know that we've ever had. Because in order to have it, both teams have to be legit at the same time for prolonged periods. I think it's going to be a war. And I like a little spicy right there. I like that little shot. Yeah. Good.
We don't hang divisional banners.
Good.
And it wasn't like.
And by the way, I have no problem with the Lions hanging a divisional banner. Let me state that.
It's been 30 years. They should do that.
The problem I had, you didn't do it at the game. You didn't share it with your fans who stuck with you for 30 years waiting to see that banner go back up. You did it on some random Tuesday in the middle of the day. Empty stadium. That's the only problem that I have. Share it with the fan base. That place would have been electric. Raising it up right before the Stafford walks in. While the Rams were getting introduced, you raised the banner. Just drown them out.
But it's not like with these two teams, there was no dominant side here. The Lions didn't dominate the Packers last year. One game they looked great, but they split the season series.
Well, early on, I was shocked at how easy the Lions went into Green Bay and got it done. But then the fans took over the Lambeau. I was like, what are we? How did you take over Lambeau Field? That's like sacred. And but even their ticket office had to come out and apologize to the fans and say, this won't ever happen again.
Those are the two most shocking things. It wasn't just that the Lions went there and won. It was the ease, and it's what happened here on Thanksgiving. Now, the Packers demolished you.
Right. That one I got wrong because I had that one locked up as a BOGO game. Oh, you're going to win. They're not that. And then, wow, love, touchdown. Wow.
Let's go to people. 248-539-9797. Mark is up next. What's up, Mark?
Hey, Mike, Rico. I've been waiting for you guys to do this topic because draft season is like my Christmas season. I love this stuff. But Cooper Beebe, absolutely approve. I was watching his tape about a week ago, and not only Sweat, but he went against Byron Murphy II, who, a lot of the people have mocked him to the Lions, and he just dominated him. I mean, you're talking about a guy who can lose a pass rush rep and has both the brutal strength and the technique to recover. I mean, I didn't see him lose a lot of reps. So I love Beebe. Awesome. Mark, I would like to say, though.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Rico.
No, Mark, I'll say this and I'll let you finish. Yeah, watching the highlights with him doing this against Texas, not North Texas, not Texas State, but UT Texas is back, Texas. And yet they couldn't get around this man. Yeah, I loved it.
No, absolutely. If I could throw my hat in the ring for the winner of the pageantry, Jonah Ellis, Utah, DN, son of Luther. Yep. Imagine him number 94, opposite Aiden Hutchinson. Now, you're working with a guy who's 6'2", 245, so a little undersized. But you want to talk about a pass rush tool belt? A lot of these guys, your Latus, your Jared Verse, they got like 4 moves that are going to work. Jonah has like 12 moves. He overcompensates for his size.
You know what I like?
He's a beast out there.
A, his daddy's on staff. But B, you know what I like players from Utah, fellas? Again, it's the same trait that the Lions covet. It's grit. It's toughness. Utah is one of those programs you just don't want to play them.
That weird thing they have with BYU and that obsession how they hate each other.
Well, it's a good in-state rivalry.
I like it because whenever you get that player's kid, he's been taught for years how to play this position. Whether he was just joking around with dad and dad's saying, no, son, if you're going to do this, line up right. You're going to do this, put your hands here, do that, do that. I always love it when you can get a player's kid who's actually good.
So the opposite of Marcus Jordan.
Yeah, but he was never good. But to me,
the opposite of the bad Ball brother.
Correct. Or the other Howard.
Limoncello Ball or whatever his name is.
Leangelo.
Right. He's playing in Mexico now.
The other Howard that probably won't sniff the NBA. But yeah, Brendan Rice is a guy that I think down the line is going to be a good receiver in the NFL. He's Jerry Rice's kid. So he's built a little differently than everybody else.
Let's get Cameron the final word on this and we'll get moving. Cameron, go ahead.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Afternoon.
So I am in full 100% agreement with you on Cooper Beebe. He is, like you said, he kills people. But if I could throw another name into the ring, if you will, it's another offensive lineman, Graham Barton out of Duke. I like his positional versatility. Potentially could play on the inside at center. Yeah, I think he's another good fit for this team. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, Cameron, it's fine. And I have no problem. You spitball, throw some names out. I did what I did for a purpose. And if you missed it, Odyssey.com rewind. It's just this idea that Brad Holmes clearly and Dan Campbell, they have an archetype of what they want in a player they draft.
Yeah, and they're really big. They're the offense. This team really wants to be one of the best offensive teams out there. Graham Barton, for what he said, 6'5", 315. He's projected late first round, early second round. So he would be there in that whole thing. But yeah, the fact that you played in the Big 12, you went up against a little tougher teams than the ACC.
And again, we can have fun, and I love this player. Watching him is fun. Reality is, are you open to taking an O-lineman high? And I think.
No, you're right. Because I think the show we probably have to do at what point, what's the position that'll just make your head explode and be like, are you serious?
Receiver. It would drive me insane.
and with the 29th pick, the Lions select Xavier Worthy, wide receiver, University of Texas.
I'm out.